This is Black Home Channel reporting from New River Estate, Nevis, built in 1720. And you can see from the sign here, this is a new sign, and you can see some work that was done over the several months to years here at New River. And I'm quite pleased with the work that was done because this is something I mentioned years ago. I actually called for the restoration of historical sites on the island of Nevis. So I am pleased that the government would have listened to me, and they are doing their part to restore these historical sites. And this is a sign here which reads, "For 28 years, Nevis was a central market for selling enslaved persons to neighboring islands through the Royal African Company. In the 100 years leading up to the 1778, the number of enslaved persons on the island increased from 3,849 to 10,000. At New River, it is difficult to know how many slaves lived on and worked on the site over the years, but there are lists of names at various points in history. Archaeological investigations have shown that there were 2 slave villages at New River at 2 sites above the island road. In 1785, there were 129 recorded slaves at the estate, including 21 men and 46 women, 34 boys, and 28 girls. The first village existed from 1750 until 1780. The village was then moved to an area identified as New River 11, which was occupied from 1800 to 1830. This is a beautiful evidence here at the site. We show you a little bit about the history of this estate, and as the sign said, there were hundreds of slaves over here at that time, and all of these were farmlands. You can see all you can see here was all farms, and the sign actually said something because we would have lost a lot of our history. And as you notice in the sign, you just have names, numbers. We don't know who those over 100 men were. We don't know who those women were, those girls, those boys. We don't know who they were. So that evidence would have been lost in history. And we are going to go into the gate. This was recently put up as well. Looking quite nice here. The stone structure, and it goes all the way back. This land goes all the way back to Zion. And here is another picture of the plan of how the slave plantation was laid out. You had the cane fields up above, then you had the kitchen, cotton ginnery, normal gardening. The great house was where the slave masters lived. You see how beautiful they had there, the pools and everything. Those were the slave masters in there relaxing, while the slave fields were up in the fields, toiling day and night, sun up to sundown. The slave village was all the way across here, separate. You see how far it was from the slave masters? Far away but close to the field, so they can work very hard day and night. Blacksmith shop, you had parking, visitors, Cane field again down here. Cane field across here. Cattle, they had all across here. And then the boiling house, close to the great house here. Then you have a little garden down here, I guess for the slave masters down here for them to work. And we're gonna take a trip now to what was the boiler. You see how tall this mill is. This was a smoke mill. Right here, underneath here, I don't know. It's quite clean under here. It's very, very, very clean. Wow. Look at this. I don't know what this was, but these are bricks. These are bricks from England. I'm telling you, this was well built. And as I said before in my previous video, the Africans who were enslaved on Nevis were quite skilled, because you can see how this was built perfectly. And this is a huge boiling tank here, and you can see the heavy equipment. This is raw metal here. Raw metal brought from England. Old cotton ginnery house here, and you could see they did quite a bit of work here arranging all of these historical sugar equipment. Sugar works. This is sugar works. I'm not sure what it is, but if you can read, maybe you can read for me. You have number 1, cane mill. Cane mill used to extract juice from sugar cane, blah blah blah. The steam room was used. Okay, this is saying all that the equipment was used for. So I'm not going to read all of this for you. You can take your time and you can read it when you have some time. Watch this video and read it for yourself. But we have 1 cane mill, steam engine, steam clarifiers, the boiling wall, cooling trays, the curing area, the rum still, chimney, steam boiler, the loading dock. So you can see these people were very organized here at the New River Estate. All the way down to structure, they had water down there where they stored their water, and you can see this beautiful site. This was built by all enslaved Africans with skills they brought from Africa. And you can read all of this when you get a chance to. Take your time and read it. Wow. This is amazing. This is like the Nevis Brimstone Hill here at New River. It goes on and on and on, never ending. I'm telling you. See, you had the copper. These were boilers here, you know. They boiled up sugar cane all through here. And they have the copper. I guess they had coal and all kind of thing underneath there. See, work is still being done to restore this site to its former glory. And you can see it's still well intact. Magnificent site here at New River. This is the back of the boiling area. Gonna go to the front now and make my way inside to show you a little bit of what is it inside there. It's a good thing I came around here, because I'm now seeing another thing here. Yes, this is another story here for you to read. New River Estate would have been surrounded by sugarcane fields. In fact, cane was planted around the entire island up to about 1,000 feet elevation. So all the way up in the mountains you had cane, mountain to sea. Sugar cane is a tall grass with a woody stem containing large amount of very sweet sap. I'm not going to read any more of this, but you could read it when you get a chance. And you can see they have a picture of the enslaved Africans here, the children. I guess by that time they were Nevisians because they would have been born here over the time. But those who were brought here initially, they are our family members, and they came with a lot of skills from England. I'm loving the signs that's here. Enslaved people at New River. Oh, remember I said the names were lost. The names were lost throughout history. These seem like names here. These are the names and ages of 108 enslaved people who were alive on New River Plantation in one particular day. Wow. So in one particular day you had up to 52 people working day and night on the farm. And I'm seeing some names here. Name Abba, sex, woman, country, Africa. So Abba was brought from Africa. Ami, Atta, Aruba, Bell, Bacchus, Bessie, Beth, Bessie, Billy. They changed up a lot of these names, you know. Mingo. Some of these names were changed, and it looked like some of these names remain the same. But they have Creole. I don't know what they mean, which country. There's no country called Creole, but we have Creole and Africa, whereas we're the country of origin. We have Mulatto. So this is quite, it's saying Mulatto, Africa, Creole. Mulatto is not a country, so I guess it's the race. But this is quite interesting. When you get a chance, come down here and read it up for yourself. But what I see there from that list, I didn't see any African names, first name and last name. So what happened when the enslaved Africans were brought here from Africa? They changed their names. Billy, James, all of those are Caucasian names, not African names. So you can see the boiling area. Magnificent sugar equipment going all the way down. So this is another crushing of sugar. Farmers delivered, blah, blah, blah. This is showing how it was done here. When you get a chance, you could read it for yourself. But what I was explaining to you is that many of the names I saw on that list, those are European names. Billy, James, Mandy, all those are European names. So you find today the names we have on the island are mostly European names. And that would have been changed from African names. When they brought over the enslaved Africans from Africa to Nevis, they would have changed the names, and then over the years, the European names continued and continued. But this is saying this machinery is from London. But that's the lesson for today. It's been a pleasure speaking to you today. And when you get a chance, please feel free to come down and observe the historical site for yourself, because this is Nevis, and all this is yours. Your family members who were brought from Africa, they worked hard on this plantation. So you know, you come here and you enjoy it like a tourist. And but at the same time, you remember our brothers and sisters who were brought and worked day and night on this plantation from Africa. Let's give a moment of silence, please. And that was a moment of silence for all the Africans who were brought from Africa, worked day and night, all their lives, and perished here on this plantation. This is Black Home Channel reporting from New River Estate, Nevis. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and share it to all your friends. Bye-bye.